there's no such thing as a cosplay celebrity. Now, the reason why I say this is because I made a couple of videos just explaining how I blew up in the form of cosplay, and I wasn't trying to blow up in the form of cosplay, but this video is aimed at the people to know what cosplay is and what it's not, and the misconception that was created because I made a community that was based off of people acting heroic and being good look like a whole bunch of celebrity, sex and the shitty gossip shit. That was the end result, but the first thing that it was is they didn't even recognize these cosplayers as people. And the reason why is because that fan made, they just thought that these were super hot girls that watched anime and that it was so easy to get at them, to how the fuck are they so gangster all of a sudden? I thought this shit was for nerds, and it is for nerds. And that's the whole reason why it became a whole fucking dilemma, because people had this misunderstanding that cosplayers are the exact same as me and Arturo. I'm like, hold up, no, I'm sorry. People need to wake up, understand that I've been adapting to hip-hop ever since I've been in junior high, and the majority of cosplayers are white, and the majority of cosplayers don't have a social life, and I was very social at the time, at least when it comes to competing. I had hobbies. I was a turf dancer in high school. Had a whole list of shit of me doing shit outside of anime, but it did not matter because these people who I met at these conventions were at the same level that I was when I was going to junior high, when I thought that watching animated cartoons on a computer screen all day is gonna give you a personality. These people, 9 times out of 10, are bland. They are socially awkward. They think that they know more about the situation, but they only understand it at a book smart level, and they can never understand that a street smart level is 10 times more considerate than the education level, because education is like 2D and street smarts is like 3D. And the reason why I have to go into detail about this is because they see all these cosplayers and they think that they are just like me, and they are and they're not. Because you know why? Because hip-hop is the default. When I did what I did, when it came down to Fanime 2018, is when the crazy shit happened, when everybody was looking forward to Fanime 2019, thinking that Fanime was this, Fanime was that. Oh, they're not just cosplayers, these are real people. And 9 times out of 10, that's not the case, because what I figured out is that they come from an unsocial culture, and the whole meaning of cons was to express yourself as an anime fan, not be social. And it became the equivalent of when you meet a girl at a mental hospital and she's fine as fuck, and you literally just get her number and fuck her, and you end up dealing with all her personal problems and shit, is the exact equivalent to what happened at Fanime when I made these people look like hoodlums, but they were just anime fans. Who doesn't want to have fun? What I was doing was fun. I wasn't doing anything that wasn't intellectual. I was just enjoying those peaches. And to be honest with you guys, it's not like they've never danced to any song that's on the radio. Yeah, it's common, but does that mean they know how to be social? I am here to break down why you got the confusion of, oh, how come you say they're on social, but how come when I slide into someone like Karma's DMs, they always come at me with some street smart shit? Well, you know why, dumbass, is because Karma knows that hip-hop is the default. So Karma listens to Kanye West. But she mostly listens to rock. And she listens to J-pop. Get it in your head that when I listened to all 3 of those genres is when I was going through hell throughout junior high and high school. yes, I have to break it down to you. If you're confused, the why is because they're still trained by good families for people not to get in their pants. And if you think you can get in their pants, you at least have to be an intellectual, you fucking idiot. And the real reason why you have to understand why women in general aren't slow and why you can get any girl is because of knowing how they work, but knowing that most of the girls, if you want to understand, are very unsocial. There's a big video coming up where I talk about cosplayers versus bitches in the Bay. Bitches in the Bay Area. I was known for background girls in the Bay Area right before fanmade, so me and women had this thing where I kind of like stopped caring about them, where they loved me the most when I was heavy on my ground, where I did the most A and B's, so I was getting recognition for rappers. It's like, ooh, Jessica sent you a message. I'm like, hold up, y'all to repost my A and B on Instagram. Literally, a girl tried to talk to me. I'm like, no, I'm watching porn. And she's like, wait, no, show me some attention. I'm like, no, you're being difficult. I'd rather watch porn. Literally hacking my phone while I'm trying to watch porn. That was the game I had before fanmade. So me doing what I did at fanmade wasn't shit. But to answer the question of why you think they're so gangster is because they're all on Karma's level. They all somewhat have a peer problem, but the peer problem isn't as severe as actual peer, but peer is very talented when it comes to video games. Peer is super knowledgeable where it comes to what he's talking about, but that's what makes you opinionative. You see, there's a reason why you have to have an ego, but knowledge is one thing. Achieving something is different. Somebody may have put in the work, but you were able to win the crowd. It's literally what can happen 9 times out of 10. And the reason why I have to let you guys know is cosplayers are not street smart. So Lil Uzi Vert and they all talk about anime, they all talk about rap and hip hop and rap. Literally accepted anime where it came in 2016. Everyone became an otaku. Girls started watching anime. Not too much. Hood rats wouldn't watch anime, but the basic college nerd would know of anime because anime was the hottest topic. You know why? Because Abby's white boyfriend went to the same college as her, and there was this one day when these guys hacked my phone, and I was trying to get a happy birthday from Abby, and I didn't get a happy birthday, but then I realized later on that they were hacking. But she comes to her white boyfriend that she broke up with, and she literally tried to tell her boyfriend, why isn't Harris texting me? Why isn't Harris texting me? And so he was all like, well, you didn't wish him a happy birthday. You disrespected the gang lord. It was that time when nobody wished me happy birthday because they hacked me, but they also was up to me on Facebook and I knew what was going on. I was getting hacked and my family sent me a message. So when the next day happened, when I realized that everything was good and it was just gonna be one day and you know I'm still me, so I changed my name to Mood Tricks, the gang lord. And if you go back to the dark game video, I used to be a mob leader. And the reason why is because I was fueling the whole industry of entertainment in my region because of how much work I was putting in, because I didn't need to do anything else but chill at the tower. And literally everybody respected me. But the reason why it happened was because I needed to stay humble where everybody else partied. And if you don't know what that means that I had to make sure that I was the one being disciplined, I was the one sacrificing, I wasn't the one who expressed myself. I had to make sure I got work done, did express myself. What separates me from other people, like people I work with, is that I am known for doing something slightly boring. I don't think my videos are boring or anything, but what I'm trying to tell you is, compared to people that used to make music for me, where their style of, oh, we don't fuck with people just talking. When I listen to nothing but podcasts, I was the only disciplined one of my area. When I come from a stupid, doodoo, dumb, hyphy area where everybody is heavy on going to parties, doing all that hyphy shit, sipping all that lean, doing all that. But me, I stayed away from all that, being an anime fan. And since I blew up by doing Game Bs, I went crazy. And that is where I left my standing. Everybody needed me to follow. Everybody was looking forward to my next AMV. That shit was way more wholesome than what I was doing at Fanime. Fanime blew my popularity out the water, and it was the best comeback. But here's the thing, these people fail to realize that these are just people in costumes. Dressing up in general was childish to me when I first started doing it. I'm like, oh, this is cool. This is why when Stephanie took me to Family the first time, I wasn't impressed by shit. I wasn't impressed by shit at all. The only thing that Family was, it was an upgraded version of the cons that me and Peter went to. To be honest with you, me and Peter were the god at going at conventions. This shit was so funny. Literally, there was this one time where we're at Hotel Kabuki, and me and Peter used to have this tradition. Every year we were going to AOD and we were shopping at the mall, and Peter used to always clown on me trying to bring up the Japanese shrimp chips. And I'm like, oh yeah? Well, I got the Hello Kitty marshmallow jellos. He's like, dude, that's hella good. So me and Peter used to always go to conventions, and there was this one time where I saw Pain, literally. So there was this one conversation where Arturo told me, he's like, dude, Pain really fucked up the leaf. And literally, that's how chill Arturo was. I'm like, damn, that Arturo swag. And so I looked at the cosplayer of Pain, and I'm all like, Pain, you fucked up the leaf. And he's like, I know. And that's why they're on social. I can tell you're suffering from getting no pussy. I can tell. I was in high school at the time, and I knew exactly what it was. It was so fucking awkward. And the same fanmate that Stephanie took me to, I was trying too hard to be gangster. I was talking to a cosplayer of Ass Cats. I'm like, hey, what's up? You trying to smoke some ass and stuff like that? He backs up a little like, okay. You know, and you know what? That's what you get for hanging with our old anime fan that now goes to a continuation school. So Stephanie really didn't do shit for me, because I can tell that these people were very socially awkward, but it was still cool because I got to see my favorite cosplays. But what's the difference between that and me and Peter going to conventions? When me and Peter had this goat moment where Peter paid $50 for one sketch. And so you know what happened is, I went to Hotel Kabuki and I bought literally a blank sketchbook, and I went to the same artist and I'm like, hey, can you write here in my sketchbook? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, would it be cheaper? I'm like, hell yeah. So Peter paid $50 for one fucking sketch of Zero versus fucking Goku, and I got a whole binder full of sketches for the same amount of money, but I paid $5 for each sketch. Peter was trying to act like he didn't make a stupid move. He's like, dude, look at that detail, look at that artwork. No, but seriously, it was a whole lot of shit that fan made that was cool, and to be surprised, if you go back to that list, I want you to go watch the Fanmade 2011 of me, Stephanie, and my other friend that went to Fanmade with me, and why it didn't help, but why I myself had to improve at Fanmade. At Fanmade, I was a whole new different person. I just pulled one girl at Crunchyroll, and it wasn't nothing because I was just still new, you know. Whenever I went to San Francisco, is literally this when I checked up on anime, and I'm like, it was so cool. So me and Pierre used to go to AOD, and it used to be literally so cool. It literally is so much better than literally the majority of cons out there. And the thing about AOD and why it was so cool is that it was at the time when me and Pierre were having an argument, or whenever we went to convention, it was so fucking dope getting to meet all these different artists, all this shit. I was more into the art when I went to conventions than I was the actual cosplay. I thought the cosplay was still a shit. But when I went to Fam at 18, I'm like, there's some really better cosplays. Because when I went to Fam when it was 11, that was a big year difference. big time gap between that and the family where I grew up, and that's how you know I was a different person. So please understand that they were on my level when I literally was in a community that doesn't even smoke weed, when I just got done being with the shit with Arturo, and I literally learned how to gorilla bitches and shit. And I go to family where these people are still thinking about Craig and his 3 friends. But like I said in my earlier video, is because I learned how to lead women on a date is the same reason why I can make a woman learn how to be an intellectual without saying anything. It's the same reason why you learn how to how to lead the role of a situation instead of literally let it play out, is why that happened. That all ties into what I learned about women, about how you have to be in control and how you have to lead, and that had nothing to do with them liking Abby. That had everything that has to do with you knowing how women work, you know. The misconception of the otaku thinking that he's cool or thinking that she's cool is that when you're an anime fan and you get famous off this cosplay shit, you say shit that a cosplayer wouldn't say, like, oh, that's dope, oh, this and that. I'm like, wow, that's coming from a cosplayer? I used to have the same problem, but now I'm like, dude, you ain't fooling shit, because I used to be on that same level. And even if you're going to work at school, you are standing out as somebody who is dressing up. Please understand that at a heavy job criticism level, that when you make a side hobby as dressing up as fictional characters, people are gonna clown you by default, just putting that out there. But it's very fun. The cosplay literally is very fucking fun. It was more fun than I thought it was, but it's coming from the outside of me not being able to relate to people like Ash Ketchum, and me knowing that a nerd cannot beat a gang member that benches 200 pounds, and that I am in tune with reality, and that I'm aware of my surroundings, and getting a girl isn't that much of a milestone. I learned that women weren't that much of a prize, that really it became harder for me to make an A and B than it was to pull a girl at that point, when I learned how to pull women. So what I did at family was great, a foundation of people that accept me for what's on the inside, but literally, no, a lot of them are spoiled brats, a lot of them literally are trifling with their parents, and the ones that think that they can do hip-hop, oh my god, literally, there was a good one that I'm saving for a future video, that one that was the most gangster, that had a really good gangster plot, literally, he came along, but the whole meaning of why cosplay isn't gangster, and why it's not, is because it's literally a source of entertainment that's made for nerds, and why a celebrity of cosplay doesn't exist, because anime has a limited fan base compared to boxing, compared to rap, compared to reality TV shows. Anime will always fall flat because it's not made originally in the US, and you're trying to flex something from Japan. People are gonna call you a nerd by default, and this is why the misconception why cosplayers are on social, and when these stupid fuck niggas kind of slide in people like Karma's DMs and how she's ready to roast, it's the same thing I keep on fucking telling you. They are not slow. A lot of them that I know were fake popular kids in high school. Like me, when I was in high school, I was famous off dancing, but they would always pick on me and make me a guinea pig, and they wouldn't give me a girlfriend, they wouldn't give me nothing, and they would always make me fucking dance, and I got tired of doing that shit, and then they started pulling pranks on me when I started to adapt, and literally, I was literally just a punching bag, because I believed in being a good person more than standing up for myself, and literally, that's the misconception that otakus have on life, and I know the difference between real life and a fucking anime. A lot of otakus don't, and what I mean by that is, even though they accept that Goku isn't real and that you can't do Kamehameha, you still expect to be a good person and not face challenges in life. Like, oh, I'm just gonna get a cause degree. Is that cause degree gonna save you from someone putting a gun to your head because you said something stupid? A lot of cosplayers think they can get away with, hey, I'm calling the police. Not if I can put a gun to your head. And the whole point of why that is different, why you have to adapt, and why you have to know your place in life, and how you know that you have to gain muscle, you have to do everything to become stronger, is that you can't rely on this sorts of media that's specifically made for you to be a teenager. So you can see right there, it's just entertainment at the end of the day. entertainment made for teenagers. So when you want to grow up and you're wondering why you're still watching anime and everybody else is making out and shit, and you can't literally understand how to be social, even though you're being a good person, because they don't care about what the fuck you're saying. You don't think if I didn't train with Arturo, if I didn't try to be a bad boy and realize it wasn't worth it and literally got scared shitless? I got caught stealing one time and it made me scared shitless. Literally shitless. Literally being really dumb, and that's what humbled me. But a lot of people haven't even got to that point to be the nicest I can. A lot of otaku fans don't get to that point because a lot of otakus don't even freaking smoke. And I was lucky that year that I met a lot of them that do, and I met even more along the way that cosplayers are normal people at the end of the day. But like I said, when I was smoking weed in high school, what was going on? When I was listening to rap in high school, what was going on? You know, and if you want to know what's going on, she might be pretty, but I was pretty in high school and I had a brain deficiency, so that's what you gotta know. It comes with being pretty in general, with women having low social skills, but women that specifically stay inside and do nothing but stream episodes online all day are way worse off than a hood bitch that's trying to be a stripper. The level of game and the difference between literally a tight jean wearing bitch in high school versus a cosplayer is so fucking out there. I'm making that video for another day, but you have to understand why this is so fucking important for you to know that these cosplayers are socially awkward, and that cosplay and anime is something that needs to go back to being just for nerds and needs to stop being for gossip, because these people were just like me when I was one-dimensional, where I had to learn how to be multi-dimensional, and I had specific training. That was specifically made to do something bad within those guidelines, but I stopped doing that shit and I went back to my anime roots, and I forgot how much I've grown. I forgot that these people don't even smoke. I forgot this and that, and literally because of how much I love anime. Because you know, when you lose your virginity, you don't have to deal with these people shit anymore, and they can't literally use that virgin excuse against you anymore. So all you have to do now is have fun. But you know, that's when the constructive criticism comes in. Are you gonna like survive your whole life just fucking rapping bitches all day because you have the swag, even though they have the credentials, even though you are getting the results? Are you getting a family? Are you getting this and that? Are you gonna go down there forever, you know? And those are the levels of shit that I went through. So people that go to those conventions that can't even get laid is literally blows my fucking mind to the point where it's like, I'm sorry, I didn't know what I was fucking doing, but everybody needs to know that was the whole misconception of cosplay.